White's profile says, all I ask is that you play basketball, watch NBA with me, and be 6 foot tall, maybe a couple inches, give or take, so I know I would manage to pull this woman. My dit is definitely 6 feet tall, but it's a bit expectant needing every man with a chance to have a chopped like Drake and me. A rookie mistake because 99% of prospects have been wiped out with this one. Black hits back with, I could give or take a couple of inches to you for sure, playing a great move trying to get into their opponent's pants before even breaching their side of the board. Cutting straight to the chase is what made this offensive move so successful, and if White wants to keep their pieces, they're gonna have to defend. I think I wouldn't mind. Also, please don't tell me you're a Leo man. We are under a minute into the video, and White has mentioned star signs, so I regret being here and being born. I've never understood women who judge a man based on where they were born, but to each their own, I guess. Under my rules, it is and always will be a blunder though, ending the game badly for White. Next, Black explains, we love a confident woman using a traditional book move to get the conversation going with a compliment. Moves like this can make the game go in any direction, and it all depends on the playstyle of the opponent. Let's hope this one is aggressive because you and I want some entertainment. White responds with, we equals you and your credit card, playing the gold digger gambit in a mistake, shoving a red flag into Black's face like there's no tomorrow. If Black is smart, he will resign the game immediately, but something tells me this isn't going to be the case. Black plays, well, at least the confidence is surely there, and while this might be sarcastic, it's still shameful that he sees a positive in White's mistake. White is going to mine gold from him like a broke OnlyFans creator, squeezing every last renewal out of a loyal top tier simp, so the only good move here would have been resigning. Just trying to show out for you, baby. Kiss. White plays an excellent move trying to seduce their opponent into becoming an infinite money glitch. For some men, all it takes is being called baby or daddy, and all of a sudden they forget everything bad you've done and go all in. Trust me, I know. For conspiracy reasons, that was a joke and I'm perfectly straight. Black regains some independence by pushing back with, as one confident person to another, if you want yo get shopping, you better get to slopping. And I haven't heard a better one-liner in my life. Not only does it fit the perfect situation, but it provides a win-win situation for both players in a brilliant move. While it's still a bit embarrassing to have money to give someone to get you guac guac, but in this situation, you can't really fault it. White replies, I'll take care of you, accepting the deal with a good move and bringing the game closer to a stalemate. Both of these players probably feel like a giddy child on Christmas Eve now, because who doesn't want someone's credit card and who doesn't want their sloppy toppy? I've never seen two players walk out of a text chess battle with their heads held so high. Who TF allowed a woman to get game like this? Ref? On the surface, there is nothing wrong with this move, but one flaw is that White will not understand Black's ref joke. Of course, it means a sports referee is needed to review the situation, but for all the huzz knows, it can mean reference or even rambunctious fiddlers. Missed opportunity for a stalemate and a miss in general, serving the win to White on a golden platter. Next, White opens with a question mark, throwing us into what looks like a pre-established game, making this move very hard to analyze. The only suiting rating is a boring move, because without our knowledge, what does it actually do for the game? Black creates conflict and replies by acting like you know what you're doing, but you don't, accusing their opponent of being an idiot, which is a traditional way of offense going down as a good move. It sets up some nice forms of attack and also doesn't open up their defense too much in order to prevent counterattacking potential for White. White asks, what's Buddy on, using the most condescending pet name on the planet. Being called Buddy is a low that only people who have been called Buddy can understand, because not only does it make you sound like 6 years old, but it also makes it sound like the speaker doesn't like you. Black plays a great move by using this and creating a fork on two different pieces. Choosing to reply honestly, Black answers a lot of things, coke, grass, and you and I both know that bro isn't talking about Coca-Cola. You better hope the government isn't watching this, because they'd be at his door ASAP about this type of use. The only chance he has of getting away with this is if it's the government from Stranger Things, because those motherfuckers are about as useful as a butter knife against steel. It's a definitely mistake for snitching on yourself like this. In shock, White replies, the hell, making it clear that they are an innocent suburban child and don't know about the lifestyle Black lives. This good move doesn't do anything wrong, but at the same time, I can't think of any way it actually benefits them, because it neither defends or attacks. Pretty useless if you ask me. Black plays get out, you're not tough, acting like they weren't the one trying to act tough a few minutes ago, flexing about the substances they've been misusing. You can't get away with hypocrisy like this in such high elo lobbies, and it almost always results in a blunder, with this play proving it. Oh no, I'm angry. Locking the opponent, White starts their offense by executing a fork and capturing Black's rook. This excellent move indirectly calls out Black for their rage bait shenanigans and of course breaks free from them in amazing style. Black tries to push back with get out, which has to be one of the most brain dead moves I've seen in a while. After saying get out and getting a blunder for it, Black somehow came to the decision to do the exact same thing again. Surely they're trying to lose on purpose after this blunder. It's either that or White's playing against a literal gorilla. They've played Minecraft before, so it wouldn't surprise me if one hopped on text chess. Nice rage baiting bud, laughing emoji. White laughs in the face of black, asserting true dominance, and they might as well squish them like a bug. From the very beginning, black had no chance in this game, but to be fair to him, he had no idea who he's going to queue against the Magnus Carlsen of entitled DMs. Clearly black isn't ready for the big leagues yet, and they get steamrolled by this brilliant move. Black simply replies, "Yeah, I know, I'm so good," speaking utter nonsense before resigning the game immediately. Quitting is the best shit they've done all game, but it was way too late if they wanted to avoid being embarrassed. I wouldn't be surprised if they uninstalled after this nightmare. Next, nice. Can you draw for me? White reaches out with a book move, making a basic request to their opponent, who probably posted drawings onto a social media account. Black responds with, "Thank you," hug emoji. "Yes, I can. I take commissions, charging money for their services like a good little businessman, and a great move. Drawing of all jobs definitely takes a lot of time, so you can't blame them for wanting money, even if it's for a friend or even a family member." White asks, "What is commission?" And behind that screen, I can imagine that one gif of Patrick Starr drooling like his mouth is a waterfall. This is the type of kid you find in the bottom set of math, because playing a miss like this is the only for the least intelligent text chess players on the planet. Sorry if any of you don't know what a commission is, I'm joking of course. Black answers, well, in order, it requires money just like any other job. Keeping their cool and explaining in a professional way, but they were definitely wheezing when they asked what a commission was. Luckily, they know how to stay composed in situations where they need to sell something, which you gotta respect as it's an excellent move. Composure is key when it comes to selling things to people. Turning into the IRS, White starts to press questions such as, "You pay taxes, you registered under the government, and we might have an FBI agent on our hands here. If this is meant to be an undercover operation, it's already failed, because if Black has any wits about them, they'll know this is a bad idea and ignore the message right away." The questions are good, but the execution not so much, making this an inaccuracy. Black replies, "Not really, I do this as a hobby and I earn less than $300 a month, so I don't pay taxes for it." Playing defensively now, Black is made to explain themselves in a forced move, and they do a great job of it. $300 a month is next to nothing as far as the IRS are concerned, so if any message is to push them out of their DMs, it's this one. Lying point blank, White says, "You know that is illegal, how much you charge per draw, and I think I see what they're doing now." Instead of trying to expose Black for not paying their taxes, White is on a mission to use blackmail to get a discount. This is extremely unethical and a mistake, but it isn't enough to be banned by the text chess admins. Depending on how opt this turns out, we might have to change that rule though. White continues by explaining, "You can draw for me and my wife for free, not paying you since you aren't registered." I knew it. This blackmail is an outrageous move, and as much as I wished I could change the rules mid-game and ban this bitch, I can't, so we have to see how it plays out. Black stands by themselves and replies, "I don't draw for free," not allowing themselves to get fooled by this evil player. I'm pretty sure they're confident they're doing nothing wrong since they earn literally $300 a month, which is nowhere near taxable income, so it's an excellent move not to allow this blackmail to extort them. Going down a different route, White explains, "But you can draw for practice." But someone making money from art does not need any practice, which is why I'm grading this a mega inaccuracy. From the sounds of it, White should be the one trying to learn, because they're clearly struggling for money at the moment if they can't buy an art piece for their wife. It wouldn't surprise me if they were spending all their money on OnlyFans, because a degenerate trying to use blackmail can definitely be a degenerate in other ways too. Black tries to keep peace and responds with, "If I ever want to practice and have no inspiration, I will message you," smiling face. This brilliant move tries to keep White from being pissed off, but you and I both know that bro is not going to message with an offer for free art, especially after being falsely alarmed for tax fraud. It's a defense almost impossible to penetrate, and White is going to struggle in getting anything through it. Taking this as a definite, White demands, "Okay, I need it by April since my wife's birthday, so do it by then." The lack of manners in this message is horrible and way too expected to get any praise, so I'm grading it a blunder. The least you can do is be polite to someone you're trying to get them to do work for you for free of charge, but clearly White woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or maybe they fell off. "I'll do it whenever I'm free. I can't promise doing it before April." I hate to say it, but Black is a pussy. This mistake lets all of White's disrespect slide and even keeps the potential of doing the drawing back on the table, which is crazy. The best move would have been sending something offensive, but clearly Black couldn't hurt a fly. White asks, "Where do you live?" getting even more aggressive than before, and who knows what they could do with his address. They could threaten to dox it, move like Prime King Vaughn and Slime Black, or even kidnap their entire family and hold them hostage like Duolingo in 2022. No matter where you look at this move, it's clear that intentions are bad, but against Black, it's likely to work, so a good move. Black stands their ground and pushes back with "Why?", making White explain themselves in a great move, but in order to truly execute it, the follow-up has to be perfect. "I'm calling the police on you, bitch. You think you can get away with illegal stuff? Bitch." Nothing about this is illegal, and White is banking on White having less brain cells than a catfish who sends cropped pictures and acts shocked when nobody believes it's them. I assure you, I'm not talking from experience. For real though, this mistake undermines the opponents being lenient so far and gives them way too much of a chance. Revealing their idiot status, Black responds with, "Okay, I'll do it before April," losing aura at a rate that I can't even comprehend. Getting blackmailed with a law that isn't even real is a new low, and to be honest, Black deserves it for being so ignorant. Blunder. Ha 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 ha. My bad, the AI I don't know what's going on with it lately. Got scared of police. White uses their newfound power in this situation to laugh in the face of Black without any repercussions, and as much as this is bullying at this point, it does the job in the sense of trying to win a text chess game and is a great move. Black simply replies, yeah, in a state of depression, because who wouldn't be when they're forced into doing labor? This forced move might as well be labeled as slavery at this point, because I'm convinced bro would do anything for White at this point. White says, good, stay in your senses, and then asks, done, can I see progress, preparing to offer the most harsh criticism of his life. God forbid Black sends the work, because there's no chance it gets any praise from this pure evil White player. However, I'm grading this an excellent move, because it threatens to capture the king and advances towards a win. In response, Black states, I haven't started, in a brilliant move, refusing to work hard for obvious reasons. Of course, it's still bad that they're making the drawing in the first place, but this little spark of independence could turn into a fire for all we know, and save Black from losing. Damn, this game is poetic as fuck. Hurry up is White's next command, demanding faster work like he owns his opponent with a great move. The capital letters really seal the deal here, and if Black tolerates it, it's safe to say they are way too far gone to have any chance at winning. I hate rolling players off early, but in times like this, I think it's reasonable. Oh my lord, Black has done it. You're not even paying me. Do you really think it is fair of you to boss me around like this? It is quite rude. If you really want a drawing that fast, I will give you one really quick, but do not complain if it doesn't reach your standards. That right there, guys, is peak character development. Bro went from a little twink who gets beat like a piñata to complete independence with a brilliant move, realizing that this Neek literally has no power over them. Not realizing that Black has cut off their puppet strings, White demands, okay, do ASAP, even sketch is okay, clearly missing the crucial information with a miss. White sends the most obvious rage bait sketch ever, and these two characters are chopped as shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Black drew this with his ass, and there's no way it doesn't make White mad, making it a trophy move. WTF is this? WTF? What is this? WTF? What the fuck is this? Reply back. We do not look like this. Are you blind? Reply back. Reply now or I'm calling the police. You know I can see when you see my messages, right? You think I'm stupid? I'll report you to the police for not giving taxes. F you. Yeah, maybe Black got to him. This blunder confirms an eventual checkmate for Black, forcing White to resign the game and avoid all humiliation. The best bet for him to recover is joining my Discord server using the link in the description. Not only can you get good at text chess with feedback, but your DMs could end up in videos. And by the way, what did Black have here? Was that a job? Anyways, I'm so sorry for all of those slurs. I should have given a trigger warning. Anyway, next, O looks around nervously. Haha, hey there, cute face. White confirms their D1 Gunner status off the rip by using asterisks, and I literally want to shrivel like a raisin. Moves like this never fail to make me uneasy, and it has to be a certified cornball move. If you think of a way to argue against this, you're probably a cornball too. Black asks, clearly fearing just as uneasy as me, which I'm gonna guess is not what White wanted. Black plays a good move, showing their opponents that they are weird, but in a discreet way to not directly insult them too much. White continues the roleplay and says asterisk, whips it out, asterisk, turning a semi-normal conversation into an 18+ novel in a matter of seconds. You're lucky YouTube doesn't collect IDs before videos, because 90% of you would be looking at a blank screen right now, but it probably wouldn't upset you. I'd rather look at a solid white wall for 15 hours than this mistake. It's fucking tinier than a 5-year-old steals a brain rot iPad kid's attention span. Damn, that's small. Black goes on the mega offensive, dropping a very personal insult, but my main question is, how does he know this information? Also, I don't think size matters, which definitely gives the insult less of effect. Mistake. Quite simply, White replies, fuck you, the traditional response that players defend with when they have nothing better to say. It usually works a treat, but any good player knows that it's a cheap cop-out and a missed opportunity for something better, hence a miss. Black hits back with, that's what I did to your mom last night, and insults this bad belong in elementary school, definitely not high elo text chess messages. Black plays a blunder here because there were only so many insult opportunities, but he decided to choose the single-handed worst one. You know what, replace that blunder with a cornball move, I don't care if I've used it already. Next, White kicks us off with great date with a nice fine dining experience, maybe a bouquet of roses, smiling face, which is a very expectant first date to want. You have to think of first dates like an investment, so why would you pour in lots of money into fine dining if the chances of a return are half and half? I can tell this person doesn't gamble, which is obviously a bad thing because I gamble every day, and that's a mistake. Black replies, I promise to be a gentleman, but I think a first date should be fun and easy. Let's start with drinks or coffee and see if you can charm me into planning that fancy dinner, winking emoji. See, this guy knows his shit. A coffee date is a simple, $5 investment, which is way more worth it for a first date. He also sneaks some Riz in there at the end, which rounds off in an excellent move. I can tell this guy has learned from experience. OMG, sure, come for coffee to Edgewater, Miami. Just confirm which morning I'm available. And I don't have to charm anyone for the dinner. I can buy myself whatever dinner I want. But I'm allergic to cheapskates. You should know that, winking face. Maybe you should find some American girl within your budget who will be excited to go to Target or Starbucks with you, winking face. Russian ladies are not for beginners. White hits back with a very long move and isn't even finished. They then send a TikTok recorded by Black and say, "You gave me even more cringe at the end," laughing emoji. Probably we shouldn't meet at all. Good luck. His blunder really makes no sense. Last time I checked, it was White trying to set up a luxury date, and Black was clearly being asked out, not the other way around. I doubt he cares that much, and if anything, he's probably laughing at how much time White wasted here. Hey, by the way, do you remember that guy earlier with the job? Sorry, I can't help it. Anyway, next, may I ask something? A book move from White gets the game going and leaves two possible requests for their opponent: listen or turn off their phone and end the game early. Black chooses to allow it and replies, "Sure, shoot," inviting the question and allowing the game to progress instead of aborting, like I should have been. This is for sure the fun move, but whether or not it's the best move, time will tell. Based on what we have so far, it's a book move, simply moving a pawn in return. White asks, "Would you be okay with sending pictures wearing certain hair accessories?" And I really hope these pictures are not the sort I'm thinking of. If that's the case, I might have to resign the channel. Assuming they want normal pictures of hair products though, I'm calling this a good move for simply trying to get what they want. Black answers back with, "Maybe, if you purchase them," revealing this is a selling app and White has interest in these hair accessories. They have every right to want to see what they are purchasing, and Black is definitely in the wrong for making them purchase it before being allowed to see other pictures. This is text chess though, and sometimes being unethical is being good at the game, with this being one of those circumstances. Excellent move for trying to secure the bag. White seems annoyed and says, "Oh well, I can't do that. What do you have to wear?" And now I'm confused, so I'll look at the last move before analyzing anything. Good move, I guess. Black responds, "Typical male entitlement. Why would I buy something just to wear it for you so you can fulfill some desire of yours? It's not a selling platform. What the f?" So White wants Black to buy some hair accessories for the sole purpose of sending pictures making them obvious the bad guy in their last move a blunder. Black's response, on the other hand, is an excellent move for calling this out and not tolerating any disrespect. I hate male entitlement, and I am 6'5", by the way. You can contact me at my Discord, ladies. 18 plus, please. Next, White starts the game with, "Thanks for liking my photo. May I ask why you did so?" Like an absolute weirdo. Who the hell privately DMs people when they receive a like? That just isn't how social media works and comes out as creepy. Inaccuracy. Black explains, "I was just liking people who looked cute," which is the typical answer and goes to show that White missed out on a Riz opening. Instead, they left the Riz to Black, who delivers with a great move, letting the opponent know their cute status and giving them a chance to make moves themselves. Instead of making moves though, White states, "I'm flattered," taking the compliment well, creating no sort of attack, which does practically nothing for them in a mistake. It's usually the women who aren't interested who say shit like this, not people who actually want to drop some game. I'm disappointed, and I hope Bro's ancestors are too. What are you looking for? Trying to get some words of value out of White, Black plays a good move with an open-ended question holding all sorts of possibilities. Knowing White, we should expect their response to consist of 2 words, but it's still worth giving them a chance. Approximately $83,000. Can you help me out? Alright, who the f does this player think they're messaging? 83,000 euros is money that some of the wealthiest people around wouldn't give to random dating app match, and the expectancy is crazy. Unless Black is Paul McCartney or Elon Musk, White stands no chance of getting that 83,000 pesos, and the odds tell me that based on the profile picture, Black is none of the above. Holy blunder. Next, my most controversial opinion is I do not appreciate being objectified based on my physical appearance. Treat me like the goddess that I am. White makes a semi-controversial statement because the first part is completely valid, but not the second part. It's a bit entitled calling yourself a goddess and a straight inaccuracy. Many people on the platform would take offense to that rather than love it. I guess that's why it's a controversial opinion though. My controversial opinion is that people who still use letters to replace words like you instead of you need to be publicly executed at exactly 12 o'clock in the middle of the day tomorrow. Let me know if you agree. Black replies to such a statement by saying, "Based on your clause, I sentence you as a witch who will be burned on the stake. Burn." Other than the grade 3 standard grammar from Black here, the move as a whole hurts my brain. I have no idea how being a witch links to the statement at all, but the claw insult is funny. Overall, it's still a mistake though. White hits back with yawn, another man intimidated by good nails and big energy. Next, raising a valid concern his nails are very nasty in the huzz, and calling them claws is outright wrong. Based on how Black described them, I just assumed she didn't cut them, but damn, calling them claws is invalid as shit, and this is a great move. If this is how women pat themselves on the back to live in delusion these days, holy yeah. Black ends the game and somehow checkmates themselves because ain't nobody listening to that waffle. Next, straight up, White just says, I want someone who's rich, and while honestly is the best policy, I don't think it can apply here. Showing off gold digger status as if you have money yourself is an embarrassing thing to do, period. Especially when you put it on your dating profile. I'm surprised someone actually responded to this entitled bitch inaccuracy. Black likes the answer, and I really hope it's for comedic effect rather than an actual desire to become White's sugar daddy. No matter what they meant though, White will still definitely see it as validation, which is a mistake on Black's part. As I guessed, White plays really send me money using absolutely no manners and expecting 10 bands to magically spawn into our bank account in a D1 blunder. You don't get free money as easily as this unless you hop on OnlyFans and rage bait people online as a marketing campaign. Hopefully, White doesn't go down that route, but it wouldn't surprise me. Luckily, they're too chopped to actually succeed. Next, we should grab drinks and eat apps is White's eager yet normal opening, proposing a potential date to their opponent and book a move. My only criticism is who the f uses apps as a slang? I'm gonna assume it means apples based on the context because I'm not sure about you, but I doubt bro wants to eat shit like Snapchat. Black shows interest by playing I like drinks and apps, validating White's date idea and encouraging him to advance the game beyond the chalking stage. On the surface, nothing should go wrong, but you're watching a tech chess video, of course something is gonna go wrong. Back in the move itself, it's a good move and progresses the talking stage. White states, we have a lot in common, soon you'll be on my insurance, throwing the prospect of money into the situation way too quickly. If you have to offer insurance coverage to reel in a fish, then this is the bait really worth the catch. In simple terms, don't throw money at the huz because it's bound to end in heartbreak when you realize that's the only reason they're beside you. Good move. Black spots an opportunity and asks, do I get a credit card too? Asking the harmful questions now, and we just have to cross our balls hoping that White doesn't accept this because that would be simp behavior at its finest. Mistake. Of course you do. Of course, White plays the only blunder possible in this situation by giving their opponent complete consent to put them in more debt than they probably were during university. The second this girl gets her own hand in a credit card, she's going to be in the Louis Vuitton store speaking like she owns 67 businesses or something. It might be time to put a light on the credit card, buddy. Black continues their offense with, now we're talking, capturing White's queen and securing his fate as a broke man. I would feel sorry for him, but he invited the pressure, and at this point he deserves to be slapped with a checkmate. White continues feeding into this money sucker who thinks he has potential to be a diss sucker by explaining, we were already just talking blank, were you not paying attention, revealing that he's a little comedian with a cornball move. Maybe she might find it funny because she had green tinted shades on right now, but I guarantee you that no one laughed, you and me. If you laughed at this, honestly pause the video and take a minute to reflect on your life choices because reflection is necessary and I'll forgive you after that. Ah, he's a comedian too, good to know. Black gives the illusion that they give a shit about the joke with a great move. To her, the cost of hearing the man's F-tier humor is probably worth the credit card, so she has to laugh and I would too if the stakes were this high. She definitely has a straight face behind the screen though, and it's not because she's excited for the paycheck. Changing the conversation entirely, White hits back with, I have a number in my head, pick a number 1 through 5, and if this is another joke I'm ending it all. The channel I mean. For now, I'll call it a good move because it could be setting something up. My expectations are 0. Black's choice is 2, and you guys should pick a number and comment to 2. Let's see if our little comedian can fool us too. Force move. White compliments their line and explains, we're doomed, it was 4, IDK what other evidence we would need, with the most shit execution ever obviously rendering it as a mistake. It's so bad that I have to explain what happened. Basically, White thinks he's tough and was seeing if they chose the same number for compatibility. If you type 4 in the comments below, I genuinely feel sorry for you. With their green tinted shades slowly fading, Black explains, well, 2 by 2 equals 4, glass half full kind of girl over here, trying desperately not to lose her chances of getting a random dude's credit card. Desperation is usually pure oral loss, but in these dire circumstances, it's valid, and I would be desperate to gold dig too, making it an excellent move. Go and secure that bag. White hits back with, I'm glad you can recognize that us being compatible would be a net improvement to our life. The real question is, would it? Yeah, it would make Black happy and be able to quit their job. What the f is it gain for White other than some paid company and probably the occasional sloppy toppy? That's why this is a rookie mistake and definitely not a net positive. Black tries to argue my points by replying, and I'd bring tons of deals to yours, putting their offer on the table in return for money. If White was saying, they would read this miss and realize money can bring more thrill than Black could ever provide, but unlike Black, White has rose-tinted glasses rather than green. White sets up the date with, let's grab drinks next week, securing his place in simp hell, and if he wants to be there, well done, but it's definitely not the best choice for his life and a blunder if he gives Black the win. Black takes it by saying I'm down and not only taking his credit card but also getting free drinks. She has absolutely finessed White with a brilliant move, and I guarantee you after one shopping spree, bro is getting ghosted hard. I also guarantee you that my merch will improve your chances with every girl you speak to, so make sure to visit techchess.store and give it a look. Also, make sure to like and subscribe while you're down below the video for more videos. Next, a Danielle smiling face is the simple opening from white, greeting their opponent with politeness and moving their first pawn in a book move. Literally anything could come out of this though, so there isn't really much to say. Black also mirrors their first pawn by shouting, "Hey," and someone's an eager beaver. This book move mirrors white's play perfectly, and the explanation point makes things sound very eager, which will likely fall off when they find out what white actually wants from them. White responds with, "Can I be frank with you?" setting up their question in a usual way, which goes down as a good move. Whenever someone's asked to propose or something like this though, it's usually batshit crazy, and this is about to live up to exactly that. Sure, black plays a boring move, letting white play whatever they want and sitting back in their comfortable armchair. Whether this will pay off or not, only white's next move can answer. "I'm not trying to date you or anything. I'm robbing a bank. I need an attractive female to distract an overweight guard that runs a night shift. Clothing will be provided. All you need to do is hold his attention for 15 minutes and 49 seconds. Are you in or out, Danielle?" White fails to include one key detail in their proposal, which is what's in it for black. I highly doubt she'll be able to dress provocatively and pretend to raise an overweight night guard for roughly 16 minutes if there's nothing in it for her, and that's also quite a high chance she doesn't want payment in stolen goods. What I will credit is that the time is very precise, so at least he has a plan, but who knows if it's good or not. It's only logical to label this as a criminal move for obvious reasons, because theft is a literal crime, unless you're stealing street signs. Next, inquiring about a product, White asks, "Is there an aux input or is it Bluetooth only?" Just looking for the details on a product they want to buy, which is perfectly normal and a good move. If anything, Black's a bit of a dick for not including this information on the listing. Black answers with Bluetooth only, doing what they can to sell the product. $50 is a lot of money, so holding peace and being a good salesman is needed to make any money here. Black plays a great move by calmly answering instead of carrying conflict. White creates the conflict for them and hits back with lame, pinning a high value piece to Black's king in a good move. On an ethical standpoint, White could have easily just said they weren't interested, but they understand the game and want to win, so they chose the option that's most likely to earn a checkmate. So many Texas players lose for being too nice. Trying to one-up White's insult, Black drops the literal F-slur, which you and I both know isn't cool and is actually a blunder. Not only does this paint them as an unlikable player, but if the Facebook admins see this, you bet he won't be silent speaker through them anymore. There were so many better insults to use here, and it's sad that they chose this one. Said the single Navy motherfucker with the animal profile picture. You see, this is how you respond to an insult and successfully parry it with a parry move. White has the right idea, and their insults have a much better effect, despite them starting the conflict and being the entitled one in the situation. It just goes to show how cooked you can be if you use a slur in Texas matches. Repeating their mistake again, Black drops the move, "Go suck a dick," and then of course they rinse and repeat the F slur. People like this have always been one slur in their vocabulary and don't know how to argue with anyone in any other way, which shows a big lack in intelligence. Ro is definitely a 0.3 GPA and will not be going to Harvard anytime soon. Even if they got good grades, their digital footprint is cooked anyway. "Bet you sucked millions, LMAO," is White's absolute cinema of a response, using Black's own insult against him as a brilliant move. Rage bait this good is extremely rare, and anyone who reserves spirit off deserves to visit the White House and gain some sort of award. Falling for the bait, Black says, "Shut the fuck up, kid," and Rage quits the game, giving the win to White by resignation. I'm not sure about what you think, but in my humble opinion, it's not only the best choice to swear at someone and let them walk away with no ego. Not only is Black a shit at the game, but they're a pussy too. Next, Michael, because low-key I need that LMAO. "How did you get blank that nick for free? LOL, she told me." White is your average junkie, expecting on hunting their junkie inventory for free for no reason at all. Anyone who smokes is constantly playing a blunder, but trying to get free nick is a mega blunder, making it an outrageous move and the only right outcome. Black asks, "What do you mean?" acting oblivious to the situation, which they definitely aren't. They just don't want to give everyone free nick, which definitely wouldn't be nice in the bank account, and an excellent move for avoiding this. The best move would have been tricking them and saying yes but never delivering though. The geek bar is White's reply, revealing that this person didn't only receive free nicotine, but an entire geek bar. I don't really know what that is, but this is the most Sharva conversation ever, and geek bars need to be made extinct for obvious reasons. This might as well become a legitimate case study to prove it. White is desperate, and wouldn't be surprising if they got cancer when they're older for this blunder, as sad as that is. Black continues to act lost and hits back with, "What about it?" forcing White to elaborate for even a slight chance of being given their hit for free. They're playing with White at this point, and you can't blame them. I'd be bored too if I was a nicotine seller constantly dealing with junkies like this. Regardless of their job, though, they play a great move here, deterring a cheapskate. White cuts to the chase and asks, "Can you get me one please?" clearly fed up with Black not understanding and wanting a yes or no answer like an expectant fiend. It gets to the point where you need to put the fries in the bag and call it a day, with this point definitely being that point for White if Black says no. You still owe me 25. Okay, this move from Black reveals so many plot holes. The audacity that White has to beg for free nicotine when they still owe that same supplier $25 is incomprehensible. Black plays a brilliant move to remind their opponent of this, and there's no chance of getting this money back because White resigns the game and goes off the grid. So long as they quit nicotine, this is the good ending. Next, White posts a story reading, "Hi, a lot of you guys are complaining that I don't open my DMs, slanted face. You should understand I'm a busy gal. I'd be happy. I open your DM for $5, $10 for a short conversation, and $30 for a temporary follow back. $0 and I'll even follow you back permanently." Okay, there's an app for this called OnlyFans, and adding paid DMs off that platform is insane. I would like White to publicly leak every man that has ever paid her for this service, because if anyone on this planet deserves to be publicly shamed, it's definitely them. If this turns out profitable, it's unfortunately a brilliant move, but if not, it's a blunder. Use your imagination and you can decide. After that, make sure to watch the playlist on screen for more high elo text chests.